So for this video tutorial, you're going to need your 3.75mm crochet hook, as well as a tapestry needle or darning needle, and a pair of scissors. The yarn that I'm using is I Love This Yarn, and the color is Gray Mist. Here's some information about this yarn. And another good alternative yarn is One Skein of Big Twist yarn. So this gray colored Big Twist yarn will also work. Now I'm going to show you how to make your own nose. So for those of you that are making your own nose, you'll need a black colored yarn. I really love using the black metallic. This is from Red Heart with Love. But Karen's Simply Soft Party has metallic glittery yarn as well. You'll also need a white colored yarn. And again, I chose the white metallic or glittery style yarn. For the ears, I'm using my leftover Lion Brand yarn homespun yarn. I used these for my large koala bears. So if you want to make a large koala bear, I have a separate video tutorial for that, and you'll have plenty of yarn. This is mainly just for the ears. And this color is Clouds. So this part is optional. You don't have to get Bernat Pipsqueak yarn, but I thought that this would look cute to use on the ears for the last row of the ears, just to give it a little fluffier appearance to it. And I'm using the whitey white color. For the safety doll eyes, I'm using these beautiful glittery purple 15mm safety doll eyes. And they have the plastic backing. I prefer the plastic or the metal backing. For the koala nose, I got my koala nose from Glass Eyes online, and this is a 26mm black koala nose. Like I said, you can either use a safety koala nose, or I show you how to make one too. So for the smile, I used my Prism craft thread, just a light pink colored thread. And you're going to need your 6mm crochet hook for making the ear. This is my Pipsqueak yarn. I really like how the Pipsqueak yarn looks for the ear. And then for the center is the Lion Brand yarn. Now this is optional. You can use a Dritz home upholstery needle, and I have a 6-inch one, or you can just use your regular tapestry needle, whatever you want to do. So the first thing we're going to do is start with the koala head, and we're going to start with a magic circle. Go ahead and get your favorite gray colored yarn. Drape the yarn across your 4 fingers, use your thumb to stabilize, and then wrap the yarn around your 2 middle fingers. Hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. Then take your crochet hook, go under those 2 loops, bring up a loop, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for a slip knot. Then you're going to place 6 single crochet into the magic circle. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then take your forefinger and thumb, hold the base of the 6 single crochet. You have these 2 loops on the opposite side. Go ahead and pull on one of them. If it doesn't close, let go and pull on the other one, but this one's closing. Then take the loose yarn end and pull on that. Then just turn your work. We're going to be working in rounds, and then you're going to go into that first stitch in the round. Make sure you get under both loops. And then you're going to make 2 single crochet into every stitch around until you have a total of 12 stitches in the round. So 2 single crochet in every stitch around. And keep repeating that until you have a total of 12 stitches in the round, and then come back. So now you can take, if you need to, you can close the center of your magic circle. Just flip it over so you take that loose yarn in on the back and just give it a tug. And then that'll close up the center of your circle. Then just take your favorite yarn marker, and I just take one of my scraps of yarn, place it right where you left off. We're going to continue with the increase rounds, meaning that we're going to continue to increase the number of stitches in the round. So for the first increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 1 stitch, and then 2 single crochet into the second stitch. And then you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. So 1 single crochet into 1 stitch and 2 single crochet into the next stitch. And just repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. So now you should have a total of 18 stitches in the round. And I'm not going to give you the stitch count for each round, because all you have to do is add 6 to the previous round, because we started with the magic circle of 6 single crochet. So our previous round had 12 stitches. If you add 6 to that, this round has 18 stitches. So the next one will have 24, etc. So now we're going to make the next increase round. So go ahead and move your yarn marker up to where you left off. And for this increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch. And then repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. 1 single crochet into 2 stitches and 2 single crochet into the next stitch, repeating that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. Then take your yarn marker, move it up to where you left off, and you can see how we're going in chronological order. We went with 1 and 2, 2 and 2. Now you're going to make 1 single crochet into 3 stitches. And then 2 single crochet into the next stitch. So go ahead, repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. 1 single crochet into 3 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, repeating that pattern. Then our last increase round, go ahead and move your yarn marker up, and then you're going to make 1 single crochet into 4 stitches. And then 2 single crochet into the next stitch. And then you're just going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. 1 single crochet into 4 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, repeating that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. Now you should have a total of 36 stitches in the round after that last increase round. Now you're not going to be increasing the stitches in the round. So go ahead and move your yarn marker up, and you're just going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So only 1 single crochet in every stitch. And continue making 1 single crochet in every stitch around for 5 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then come back. Then just take your yarn marker, move it up to where you left off, and we're going to make 1 increase round. So for this increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 5 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch. And then go ahead and repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. 1 single crochet into 5 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, repeating that pattern all the way around. So now you should have a total of 42 stitches in the round. Then go ahead and move your yarn marker up and make 1 single crochet in every stitch around, for 2 rounds. So 2 rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch. So now, after you finish your 2 rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch, leave a little bit of a loop where you left off. This is going to be towards the back of the head. And we're going to start making the face. You can see where I plan on placing the eye already. So go ahead and set this aside, and then I'm going to show you how to make the portion that goes behind the eye. So just get your white colored yarn, and you're going to drape the yarn across your 4 fingers. Use your thumb to stabilize. Wrap the yarn around your 2 middle fingers. Hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. Take your crochet hook, go under those 2 loops, bring up a loop, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for a slip knot. And then just place 6 single crochet into the magic circle. So there's 2, 3, we did this for the head, 4, 5, and 6. So it's the same thing as what we did for the head. Now this time, when you close it, try not to close it all the way because you want to be able to fit the safety doll eye through the little hole. So just close it to where you leave a little opening for the safety doll eye, and then pull on the loose yarn end. Then take and make a slip stitch into that first stitch in the round. So go in both loops of that first stitch, and then just yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the yarn through both loops for a slip stitch. Then you're going to go ahead and finish off, just yarn over and pull enough yarn through to sew this white portion in place on the head. And then you can get your safety doll eye. And then you're going to repeat that for the other safety doll eye. Don't put the latch yet, so do not put the latch yet. This post is long enough to where I can go through the head. So after we finish the nose, you can see how we can place the safety latch on the inside here. So if your safety doll eyes aren't long enough, you can attach the safety latch here. But I'm going to try and see if I can attach it through the head, just so it won't be as bug-eye. But it will work both ways. But for now, do not put the latch, and then make the white portion that goes behind the eyes. And then just set the eyes aside for now. I'm going to show you how to make your own nose. So I'm going to show you how to make a nose about the size of this safety doll eye, or pretty close. So the first thing you're going to do is take your black yarn, fold it over on itself to form a loop. Take your crochet hook, go right through the loop, hold the base of the loop with your middle finger and your thumb. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for a slip knot. Go ahead and cinch that knot down, cinch the loop around your crochet hook, and then you're going to make a chain. So you yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So a chain of 5. Then you're going to make a single crochet into the second chain from the hook. Bring up a loop, make a single crochet, and you're going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch back across, except for the last stitch. In the last stitch, you're going to make 3 single crochet into the same stitch. So there's 1, 2, 3. Then turn your work so that you're working in rounds, and you're going to work on the opposite side. And you're going to go behind your loose yarn end, go into the next stitch on the opposite side, go behind the loose yarn end, bring up a loop, and then just make a single crochet. And then you're going to make a single crochet into the next stitch, and then you can go ahead and trim your loose yarn end. Then make 3 single crochet into the last stitch. So you can see how they're pretty close in size. If you want it a little bit smaller, then make it a chain of 4 instead of a chain of 5. So you can do that, but I like this size. Then just take your yarn marker. I have a total of 11 stitches in my round. So you're going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So only 1 single crochet in every stitch around for 1 round. So only 1 round of 1 single crochet in every stitch around. Go ahead and remove that yarn marker. You should still only have 11 stitches in the round, and then you're just going to slip stitch into the next stitch over. Just yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops on the hook. Then go ahead and finish off. Just yarn over and pull enough yarn through to sew the nose onto your koala. So if you want to add stuffing into your nose, use a little bit of your black yarn. So just cut a little bit of your black yarn and then place it on the inside of the nose. And then you have a little homemade crochet koala nose that's glittery. So again, I'm using my safety nose, but you can use your handmade koala nose instead if you want. So before we start to make the face, go ahead and go back to where we left off on the back of the head. Move the yarn marker up. We're going to make 1 decrease round. So for this decrease round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 5 stitches. And then you're going to make your decrease stitch or single crochet 2 stitches together. So you go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, go ahead and yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through all 3 loops for a decrease stitch or single crochet 2 stitches together. So go ahead, repeat this pattern all the way around. 1 single crochet into 5 stitches, and then single crochet 2 stitches together, repeating that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. So now you should have a total of 36 stitches in the round. Go ahead and leave a little loop on the back of the head, and then we're going to make the white portion that goes behind the nose. So go ahead and set this head aside for now. So go ahead and get your white colored yarn, and then you're going to fold the yarn over on itself to form a loop. Take your crochet hook, go right through the loop, hold the base of the loop with your middle finger and your thumb. Then you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through the loop for your slip knot. Go ahead and cinch that knot down, cinch the loop around your crochet hook, and then we're going to make a chain. So we're going to make a chain of 7. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through the loop for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you're going to make a single crochet into the second chain from the hook, and then 1 single crochet in every stitch back across except for the last stitch. In the last stitch, you're going to make 3 single crochet into the same stitch. And we're going to be working in rounds, so you can turn your work as you're making your 3 single crochet in the last stitch so that you're working on the opposite side. So you're going to go into the next stitch on the opposite side, go behind your loose yarn end, bring up a loop, and make a single crochet. And then you're just going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch back across I'm going to go ahead and trim my loose yarn end now. So you're going to make one single crochet in every stitch back across on the opposite side except for the last stitch. In the last stitch you're going to make 3 single crochet into the same stitch. Then you're just going to take your crochet hook and make a slip stitch into the next stitch over, and I have 15 total stitches in this round. Go ahead and yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook. Then you can go ahead and finish off. Just yarn over and then pull enough yarn through to sew this portion onto the head. So now you can take and place your koala nose. You can see that it's about 1 to the 3rd stitch down. I just want a little bit of the white to show around the nose. If you made your own nose, you would sew it on the same way. Just sew it into the area that the safety nose is placed. So mine looks just like this, and I like to leave the long end that I left for sewing towards the bottom. And now you can make a mouth, a little smile if you want to. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So now I just put a little bit of my Prism craft thread onto my tapestry needle. It's just a little bit thinner than yarn, so for this tiny mouth I'm using the thread, a little light pink thread yarn. And then you just go right under. Again, don't place the safety latch on the white portion. And then take your tapestry needle and you're going to go right under the center of the nose. Make sure that you're centered right down the center of the nose. And then come up and leave a little bit of a loose yarn end on the back for tying a knot. And then you're going to go down about 1 centimeter. And then you're just going to come up on the side for the side of the smile. And then go back down the middle. And then come up on the other side. Make sure your smile is the same on both sides. And then go right back down the center again for a cute little smile. So now you want to get the head and make sure that the loop where you left off is towards the back. And then you're going to position your nose. You can see where I already placed it to see where I wanted it. Make sure that you place the nose on the front, and the white portion is going to be above the last round on the head, because we still need to crochet the head closed. So don't sew the white portion to the stitches there. And then just make sure that your nose is straight. You don't want to sew it on crooked. So make sure that it's straight. And now you're ready to place the safety latch on the inside. So for my safety nose, I ended up having to put the safety latch behind the white portion because the dome would not safety latch through my head. So if you have to, you can just place it right behind the white portion. And then just take and place the nose and take your tapestry needle and the white portion, the long end that you left for sewing, or just get some white colored yarn. Make sure that your embroidery threads from the mouth aren't showing. Then you want to make sure that the nose is straight, and then you're going to sew around the border of the white portion. Now for mine, some of the white portion got stuck under the safety latch. So I'm going to create a little bit. I'm going to grab some of the white portion, but I'm also going to stitch a little bit of the white portion along the side here, and then grab some of the white portion and kind of just stitch a little bit of a white portion on the other side. See how good that looks. So then again, just keep making sure that the nose is straight, and then you're just going to sew all around the nose, the white portion of the nose, and just securing it to the face. So this is what mine looks like after I finished sewing it in place, and it's very secure. You can't get it off, and you can't see the safety latch either. So I made sure to cover it as I sewed around, and it looks great. Now we're ready to attach the eyes. Now for the eyes, I had the same problem, so I had to put the safety latch on the back. So I would recommend putting the safety latch for the safety doll eyes on the back of the white portion, because it's not going to be able to stay very well if you go through the head. And it actually works out really well. So it looks good even with the safety latch on the back of the white of the eye. So then you just have to position the eyes where you want them, and then you're going to sew around the white portion the same way that you did for the nose. So this is how mine looks after I put the safety doll eyes. It looks adorable. So they're not too bug-eyed, even with the safety latch behind the white. You can't even tell, really. And it just looks really good. So for mine, I have about a stitch between the nose, the white portion of the nose, and the eye. And what's very important when you're sewing these eyes on is that you get them even. So you want them to look the same on both sides. You don't want one eye higher than the other eye. So it's very important that you get the eyes nice and symmetrical so that you have a cute little face. I just wanted to let you know that from the magic circle, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So under the 6th round is where I place the eyes and the top of the whites of the eyes and the top of the white of the nose. Now, after you're finished with the face, you can go ahead and go back towards where we left off on the back of the head, and you can add a little bit of craft stuffing and then just continue to add craft stuffing as we close. So the last round was a decrease round where we made 1 single crochet into 5 stitches and then single crochet 2 stitches together. This time we're going to make 1 round of just 1 single crochet in every stitch. So 1 round of 1 single crochet in every stitch around, and then come back. Then just take and move the yarn marker up, and then this round we're going to make a decrease round. So for this decrease round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 4 stitches, and then you're going to single crochet 2 stitches together. And then you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. 1 single crochet into 4 stitches and then single crochet 2 stitches together, repeating that pattern. So now you should have 30 stitches in the round, and we're going to continue to decrease, and then you're going to continue to add craft stuffing as needed and continue to shape the head before we close. So now for the next decrease round, just move your yarn marker up, and for this decrease round you're going to make 1 single crochet into 3 stitches, and then single crochet 2 stitches together, and then just repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. 1 single crochet into 3 stitches and then single crochet 2 stitches together, repeating that pattern. Then for the next decrease round, I went ahead and added more craft stuffing. You're going to make 1 single crochet into 2 stitches and then single crochet 2 stitches together, repeating that pattern all the way around, back to the yarn marker. Then just make 1 single crochet into 1 stitch and then single crochet 2 stitches together, repeating that pattern all the way around, back to the yarn marker. Then you can remove the yarn marker, and now you're just going to single crochet 2 stitches together until you're almost closed. Then we're going to slip stitch closed. So you just keep making single crochet 2 stitches together until you're almost closed. So now I'm almost closed. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch it closed. So I'm going to skip a stitch, go into the next stitch, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook. And then I'm just going to keep slip stitching all the way around until the opening is completely closed. So one more should do it. Then you can finish off, just yarn over and just pull enough yarn through to bury into your work. And then you want to mold the head how you want it. And then you're going to bury the loose yarn in, so just get your tapestry needle. So you just take your tapestry needle, put the loose yarn in onto the tapestry needle, go right where you finished off and come out anywhere. And then just trim the loose yarn end. You're also going to need your 6mm crochet hook when you use your homespun Lion brand yarn. So now I'm going to show you how to make the ears, and you're going to need your 6mm crochet hook for making the ear. This is my pipsqueak yarn. I really like how the pipsqueak yarn looks for the ear. And then for the center is the Lion brand yarn. So the first thing you're going to do is take your Lion brand homespun yarn, drape it across your 4 fingers, use your thumb to stabilize, wrap the yarn around your 2 middle fingers, hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. Then take your crochet hook, and remember you're using your 6mm crochet hook. Go under those 2 loops, bring up a loop, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for a slip knot. Then you're going to place 6 single crochet into the magic circle. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then you're going to hold the base of the 6 single crochet, just like we've done before. Pull on one of the loops. If it doesn't close, you let go and pull on the other one, but this one's closing. Then take that loose yarn in and pull on that. Now this time we're not working in rounds. We're going to be working the half of the circle. So now you're just going to chain 1, turn your work, and then you're going to make a single crochet into the same stitch. So go into that same stitch, bring up a loop, and make a single crochet. Then go into the next stitch and make 2 single crochet into the same stitch. And then you're going to go into each of the stitches back to the opposite side here and make 2 single crochet into each of those stitches. So now you can see there's going to be a flat edge here, and then I have 2 single crochet in each of the stitches. Now I'm going to chain 1 again, turn my work, And this time you're not going to make a stitch into the same stitch. You're going to go into the next stitch over and make 2 single crochet into the same stitch. Then you're going to go make 1 single crochet into the next stitch and 2 single crochet into the next stitch, and keep repeating that. 1 single crochet into the next stitch, 2 single crochet into the next stitch. And you just keep repeating that all the way across. And then I have 1 more stitch there. I'm just going to make 1 single crochet into that last stitch. Then you can go ahead and finish off. Just yarn over and just pull enough yarn through to bury into your work. So now you're going to need 2 of these. Go ahead and make 1 more. So now that you have 2 of them, you're going to take and lay one on top of the other. And I usually take the 2 loose yarn ends and tie them together into a knot. Then we're going to crochet the 2 edges of the ears together, just like this. Now, if you don't like using the pipsqueak yarn and you want to use your homespun yarn, you can just use your homespun yarn and do the same thing that I do with the pipsqueak yarn. So either yarn style is fine. They both will work. So now you want to take your 6mm crochet hook and you want to go into the stitch on the end of both ears. We're going to crochet the 2 pieces together. Then you're going to bring up a loop with your yarn, whether it's your homespun yarn or your pipsqueak yarn, and then just chain 1. Then take and tie a knot. Now any of your loose yarn ends, we're just going to tuck right into the inside of the ear. So you're not going to need any stuffing for the inside of the ear. Then for this loose yarn end, I'm just going to bury it. And then the loose yarn ends on the opposite side will be tucked into the ear. So if you want to bury your loose yarn end, just kind of lay it across the top of the ear. Then you're just going to take and chain 1 again, and then go into the next stitch. So you might have to jiggle back and forth to get into that next stitch, the top stitch of both ear pieces. Then bring up a loop and make a single crochet. So it's not that hard. It's really easy. That's all you're going to be doing with the pipsqueak yarn. And I think that the pipsqueak yarn, it looks really good. It adds a nice touch for your koala. And so the larger koala bears, I had used the homespun yarn for crocheting the ear pieces together, but this would be cute to do for your larger koala bears too if you wanted to. So you just keep making 1 single crochet in every stitch across all the way to the opposite side. So you can see how easy it is, and it just looks really fluffy and pretty. Then when you finish the last stitch, you can go ahead and finish off, just yarn over and just pull enough yarn through to bury into your work. So now you're ready to sew your ears in place. The first thing you want to do is just tuck all of the loose yarn ends into the middle center opening of the bottom of the ear. So now you just take the ear and you want the same colored yarn as the homespun yarn, and you want to line up the ear. I use the magic circle as a landmark and I counted out 1 round. So just after, here's 1 and then here's 2. So just after that second round there is the edge of the pipsqueak yarn. And then I'm about 3 stitches away from the eye. And then you take your tapestry needle and you're going to go into the front only. You will sew the back of the ear later. And then just bring the yarn through and leave a little bit of a loose yarn end for tying a knot and burying into your work. And then you just sew the ear in place. And then however you sew the one ear, the other ear needs to be sewn on the exact same way. Then you can take and go back down make sure that you've sewn the front really well. Then you can take and tie a knot. Then you can take the yarn and go in and out the back, and then sew the back in place. So you can kind of bring the back out if you need to and position it how you want it, and then just go in and out and sew the back portion of the ear in place. And then you're going to repeat the same process for the other ear. And like I said, it's very important that your ears line up. And then once the ear is sewn in place, then you can take and tie a knot on the back. So then you just take tie your knot, and I like to go through twice. And then once you have the knot tied, then you can take and go right where you tied the knot and come out the ear. And that buries your loose yarn end inside of the ear, and then it gives you a nice, neat appearance on the back. And then for the other loose yarn end, you're going to repeat the same thing. It already has a knot, so you don't have to worry about a knot. You just go right where you tied the knot and then come out anywhere on the ear. Then just position your ear. Looks adorable. And then you just have to sew on the other ear, and it needs to, like I said, it has to be the same distance from the safety doll eye. It has to line up with the magic circle, and then I'm about 2 rounds out from the magic circle with the one ear. And this is what mine looks like after getting the ears sewn on. You can see how it's even. And then you have the same number of stitches between the eyes, and then also the bottom of the ears line up with the bottom of the ears on the other side. So they're nice and symmetrical, adorable little face.